This is from Justin to Kane, a podcast where Mike Robertson and Bob LaRue watch one critically acclaimed film and one terrible film and talk about how they are the same. Welcome, everybody. This is from Justin to Kane. I'm Bob.
And I'm Mike.
And on this week's episode, we are watching
the 1988 anime film, Akira,
as well as the 2013 dramatic family film, A Talking Cat.
Yes.
Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark.
Yes. Some housekeeping off the top. We should probably figure out the proper way that we're going to be pronouncing these things as going forward.
Yes.
Because in the film, they say Akira.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to say that or if you just want to be like white Canadians going Akira.
I mean, I'm probably going to say Akira. I did think about that, though, while watching the movie. I was like, oh, I wonder how we should approach this.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I'm fine just saying Akira instead of... That's how I always said
Let's just call it Akira. And then in the movie A Talking Cat, they say...
Well, I think the question is about the level of incredulity expressed in the title. A talking cat? Are you supposed to say it like that, or is it just like a talking cat? There's a question mark there.
There's a question mark sandwiched with exclamation marks. It's exciting and curious.
Yes.
Like the cat.
Like the cat, yes.
How appropriate. I've never seen a title use punctuation in such a unique, powerful way before.
Yes.
I'd argue.
Like the film's title is unsure of itself.
Yeah. It's a journey. It has a whole arc in and of itself.
Yeah. No, but nobody in the film says a talking cat. Like, a talking cat? They're always like, did that cat just talk to me? Literally every scene that happens.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So we'll just call it Akira.
Yeah, we'll call it Akira, and we'll just to keep it simple, we'll call it A Talking Cat.
Okay. So it won't be Akira, and it won't be a talking cat?
It
like
can be
almost
yelled,
but with like a little bit of a like what?
Yeah.
What?
This is gold.
This is gold. I like the thing I like about this particular podcast is that we don't really ever talk about our opinions.
No, we don't.
It requires a lot of work to listen to every episode.
A lot of work.
In that, if you want to hear an episode and really fully understand it, you have to watch 2 movies, not just one.
Yeah.
But that's fine. We tried to keep
I didn't think about that.
What?
I guess if people listen to this, they have to watch the movies. Or they should.
Yeah, think about all of your friends who aren't cinephiles. What are the odds that they're going to watch 12 Angry Men? What are the odds that they're going to watch Akira? Probably pretty low.
Like almost zero.
Well, maybe that's something we can do starting from this episode is tell people how we saw it so that if they want to find it.
We might go to prison.
Yeah, but
if we
don't condone pirating films.
Lord, no. But
we're
not above it.
We're not above it, yes. So
I found Akira on YouTube in full length.
I watched it on Tubi.com, which is a pretty decent Netflix clone.
Not bad.
Supported by ads, but for whatever reason, the Akira, when I watched it, there was not a single commercial.
That's awesome.
I don't work for Tubi, okay? Stop looking at me like that, Bob.
You told me the other day you work for Tubi, so I'm confused.
I don't work for Tubi.
Okay, well, I don't know why you said you did.
So anyways, Tubi.com, Tubi.com. Great,
Do you have
great
benefits
service.
with Tubi?
The benefit is that you don't have to pay for any of these movies. Right. And there's some real good ones on there.
Yeah.
Watch some Buster Keaton films?
Great.
Go for it. Want to watch some old Hitchcock films? Sure, you can do that.
Yeah.
Want to see Showgirls? You can watch that on there. Yes, and A Talking Cat we just went to one of those crappy websites where you have to click through a bunch of ads first.
Yeah.
And then they're probably hosted in some other country, most likely some like Russia, something like that. You have to like buffer for like 10 minutes, so it's generally not worth the time you put in to watch the film. And also the video quality is usually very low.
Almost non-existent.
I would rather pay for something than watch it on what I call potato vision, because it's like watching it through a potato.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was just how we saw the film. Should we go backwards through all the other podcasts and talk about how we found?
Yeah, we should do retroactive?
Well, what we rented from Justin to Kelly from the library, Citizen Kane. I believe you watched it on like Potato Vision.
I did, yeah.
And I rented it from the library also. Watched on DVD.
The modern Potato Vision. It's DVD.
Oh, yeah. I tried watching... You try watching that on a Blu-ray player, on just even an HD TV, it doesn't look very good. I kind of still wish that we were just still watching VHS tapes. Honestly, I really don't wish that, no.
I love VHSs, but that's another conversation.
Pan and scan, that was a mistake.
Yes, it was.
But we all went with it.
We were all complicit.
I worked at a video store. People would complain when there was a movie that was on widescreen and it wasn't in pan and scan. And I'd be like, tried to like explain it to them. They didn't care. They didn't get it. And then I didn't want to like shame them for not being a cinephile and like knowing anything about aspect ratios.
Yeah.
So I just kind of was like, well, here's your pan and scan version of Scary Movie 2. Enjoy really the cinematic delight.
The movie that's known for its mise en scène.
Oh, so poorly lit. Yeah. So ugly. Yeah.
Should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Cool. So Akira, released in 1988, was the most expensive Japanese animated film made to date at that point. And it was until 2001 when Spirited Away was made. It cost $10 million in US dollars. So it was super expensive, but it did really well globally, and it was super successful. And it's thought to sort of be the film that introduced Western audiences to anime and popularize anime and manga in general. So it was a very important film for many reasons. A cool little thing about this movie is it takes place almost entirely at night, which is an animator's nightmare. Animating night scenes is really difficult, and so they ended up inventing 50 new acrylic colors to help illustrate nighttime, because you can't just have it be black, so they had to get really creative with colors. And one color they invented is called Akira Red.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. The film used some computer-generated images in the pattern indicator used by Dr. Onishi. That's a computer-generated image, and then it's all cell animation around that, which is kind of interesting. And they also use computers to like map out falling debris and stuff. So they were really technical. It's a very complicated movie to make, and hugely successful.
Yeah.
It was written. So the original manga, which is like a huge undertaking, it's like thousands upon thousands of pages to read.
I've read it.
The whole thing?
I did, yeah.
How was it?
It took a couple months. I just got every one out of the library and read it. It was awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
If you are interested in seeing the film, or if you've seen it before, I recommend reading the comic beforehand, or even afterwards, and then seeing.
Quite a bit,
there's so much stuff that's not in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it really expands on a lot of the concepts explored, and also there's a lot of characters that aren't even in the movie that were in the thing. So you get to see all these other characters that were. Some of them were cool. Some of them were just like, well, I'm glad that person was in the movie.
Good thing they were written out.
Yeah, and you definitely get a better sense of who the characters are.
That's great.
Yeah.
What's neat about this is it was written by Katsuhiro Otomo, and he also directed it and co-wrote the movie. So it's pretty sweet that he got to write the original source material and then make this super badass feature-length movie. Yeah. And it's long. Like, it's over 2 hours long. It's a long movie. And it plays quickly. Much quicker than a talking cat.
Definitely. Yeah.
It was very complicated to piece together financially. There was a thing called the Akira group, which was a group of like, I'm pulling this number out of my butt.
You're making it up.
I am making it up.
Nice.
Like something like 10 different companies had to come together and put money forward for branding and also for production costs. It was such a huge undertaking because it was so expensive for the time. But it paid off and made a metric butt ton of money. Yeah. And it is a classic, and it holds up. This is a beautiful, beautiful anime film.
Yeah, it looks great still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it looks spectacular.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack is so good.
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
Anywho, that's kind of my succinct, brief context for the film Akira.
Great work.
Thank you.
So I did a talking cat. A talking cat? So the film was directed by David Duchovny. Duchovny. In this film, he uses the pseudonym Mary Crawford. So David Duchovny is a producer, director, so-and-so, who kind of studied under Roger Corman.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
And he kind of is known for doing the Puppet Master movies in the 80s. So Atomo and Dakota were kind of like working, in their prime at the same time. So that's a similarity, I guess.
Also, he was averaging 5 movies a year.
Oh, yeah.
That's astonishing.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I don't care.
I'm so sorry.
I was just looking at the IMDb page.
Beach Babes from Beyond.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's some great titles in there. Dr. Alien.
Also, he uses different names all the time.
He does, yeah.
Goes by Ellen Cabot.
Great for him, though, because he's making it seem like there's more women working in the industry, I guess.
Yeah, but there's not.
Steven Soderbergh does that apparently, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when he works on a movie and he edits it, writes it, directs it.
And shoots it, too.
Sometimes he'll use pseudonyms, and I believe they're always women.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions about the movie Logan Lucky.
Oh, interesting.
But I think it was his wife who wrote it.
This guy has 4 movies in post-production at the same time.
Right now.
Yeah.
Good for him. He's working hard. He's making it happen, which is more than most people can say.
145 credits as a director.
Just as a director, not just as a producer. I'm sure he's a producer of all of those credits.
He has 108 credits as a producer.
Okay, wow, good for him.
As a cinematographer, 51.
Nice. He's a Renaissance man.
He truly, truly is.
He is a king of all trades. He's good at all of them.
He's a master of all of them.
He's a master of all trades. Yeah, so he's made over 90 films in the last 25 years. This film in particular was made for a budget of $1 million.
Which is astounding.
Yeah, so Akira was made for 10 times the amount. And we're not adjusting for inflation here, so it's probably made for 30 times the amount. You can see all of that on screen in Akira. This movie, you can't even see the $1 million on screen. You can't even see...
There's one gaffer.
There's one gaffer, yeah. You can see $10,000 on screen, maybe.
I would argue less. I don't know if they lit
$5,000?
I'd say $6,000.
No, you can tell that they lit it because a lot of them have
a lot of shadows.
Delightful piss yellow with a lot of hard shadows.
Yeah.
Just like, this is clearly shot during the day, but then they put like these really bright tungsten lights up and casting these gross shadows.
Yeah.
This film is great. It's got 59 establishing shots within 84 minutes. They pretty much just use it as a transition between every scene, sometimes mid-scene.
Mm-hmm.
It has 2 credit sequences, like an opening. I mean, every movie has 2 credit sequences nowadays, but this one has 2 very long, unnecessarily long credit sequences.
They're full. They cover literally everyone involved both times.
Yes. Well, the opening one does it. The ending one covers everybody, and then it does it again. It goes through all the cast members again.
Twice, yeah.
While just cutting to just shots of a cat looking bored. That's neither here nor there. So David Duchovny, the reason why he was using a pseudonym was because he is more known for his softcore gay quasi-horror porn. So...
What a genre.
I know. So it's not really porn because nobody really has sex in it.
No.
You don't really see any nudity, but there's
slightly erotic.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's slightly erotic. The homoeroticism, I've seen one of these films. I don't remember which one. But 5 years ago, A Talking Cat and one of his movies in the 1313 series, which is called that because of that's the address of the house, that A Talking Cat was made in, and also his softcore quasi-porn movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, softcore is I would say, the operative word here. There's a lot of dudes walking around in their underwear or taking showers or just generally being almost naked but not naked.
Right.
You might see a butt. I don't remember seeing a butt. I just remember there was like a 4-minute long shower scene. And you could tell that the actor was super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You could see it on his face that he was kind of regretting this choice. Or maybe it was just cold because he was in the shower for so long.
Mm-hmm. With clothes on.
Well, he had underwear on.
That'd be chilly. Having fabric on you while you're in the shower is...
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how hot the water is. It's cold.
So, yeah, this cat movie was filmed at the same place. I assume the movie that came out later that year, A Talking Pony, was filmed in the same place. The actress, Christine DeBelle, she was a porn actress who made an erotic Alice in Wonderland film But then she later moved into legitimate TV and movie projects. But the real star of the film, A Talking Cat, is Eric Roberts, brother of Julia Roberts.
Whoa, they're siblings?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, I did not know that.
Yes. If you look at them side by side, you're like, oh, I can see the resemblance.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What weirdly different careers they had.
He's an incredibly prolific actor also.
He has over 500 credits.
Yes. In the last couple of years, he does like hundreds of movies a year. Yeah. Probably just does a day on every movie, right? So
pays the bills.
Yeah.
And he's good. Like when he's challenged, he does a good work.
I mean, he was pretty good in The Dark Knight.
He's good in The Dark Knight. Inherent Vice, he was really good. Mm-hmm. He's in, he's worked with huge directors. And then he's also voiced the cat for a series.
Cat.
A talking cat?
A talking cat?
Yeah.
Eric Roberts has famously declared that he'll appear in any movie as long as I guess it pays well enough.
Interesting.
And apparently he was, just as a fun fact, he was cast on an episode of Celebrity Rehab where he didn't have anything to rehabilitate himself from. So they made up an addiction. So he was addicted to marijuana. And then they said he was...
the most innocuous drug.
Yeah, so they said he was too boring on the show. And so he just called Janice Dickinson, I think, who was like a model.
Yeah, right.
But apparently he called her the C word.
Whoa.
And the ratings went up, I guess.
Well, good. He knows how to play the game, I guess.
I guess he knows how to play the game, yeah.
Business, man.
2 more facts about this film.
Yes.
Apparently the voiceover was filmed in a bathroom, according to Eric Roberts. And it was because the sound guy said it had the best acoustics in the house, which was like, this guy must not have known how to record a voiceover. It's like, you don't record it in a bathroom.
No, that's
where you can hear the reverb of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. You record like...
We're recording this in a bathroom right now.
Yeah, and I mean, you can hear our dulcet tones bouncing off the porcelain bowl. Also, supposedly, I could not verify this, but people have said this on the internet, that this was filmed the same week as a porn movie using the same crew as one of the porn movies. So
I believe it.
I believe
it looks like a porno.
Yeah, it does look like a porno.
It's identical.
Actor-wise, too, you don't believe any of the performances.
No.
I know a lot of those kids are not porn actors, but you know that...
They were directed like they were.
Yeah, yeah.
They act like they are.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's
it was
horrible.
definitely shot like a porn movie.
Oh, yeah.
Although I'm just going off of,
I assume. I've never seen a porno.
I've never seen a porno movie.
I've had them described to me, and from what I gather, that fits the bill. This movie fits the bill.
It sounds like what I heard a porn movie looks like.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
It looks like a porno, but I wouldn't know.
I have no idea. I just hear it looks like a porno. The internet says it looks like a porno.
Oh, yeah. And I have to believe the internet. It's the home of porn.
So I've heard.
I've never looked.
You can talk, but only once.
I don't make the rules, Phil.
There's a cat in here.
I know there's a cat in here. It was just talking to me. A talking cat? That's just stupid. That's the best you could come up with.
I'm a talking cat, but I can only talk to a person once.
I look like something that the cat dragged in.
I'm doing it! Keep loose. Don't fly against the water.
I like you taking things seriously, but you don't have to all the time with me.
You both talked to a cat, didn't you? And the cat talked back, didn't it?
That's weird.
Yeah, great. Should we get into comparisons?
Yeah, let's compare Akira and a talking cat.
Yeah, sorry, Akira and
a talking cat.
Great.
What do you got?
Eric Roberts says over and over, shiny, tiny beeping machines.
Yes.
He's referring to computers and technology in general. And Akira is lathered with shiny, tiny beeping machines.
There's a theme that kind of connects both films.
Technology.
Just technology and a fear of.
Yes.
Or but like also letting it dominate your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the first one.
It's strange because Duffy, the cat in a talking cat, his opening monologue, he talks about these beeping machines that he seems to not want to have anything to do with. And he is our humble protagonist, the titular character.
Yes.
So he kind of sets the stage that just like technology is running these people's lives. And you see it throughout the movie. These people are all on laptops. with like tape on the back, obviously, covering the logos.
Yes.
And then also one of the characters invents like a fashion scanning thing, which is like an amazing feat of technology because it just uses a reading light to scan shirts. If you noticed.
I did.
Yeah.
It was lovely. That scene was just perfection.
It was great. Yeah. Yeah. So the humans don't learn.
Right.
That seems to be the theme of both films.
Yeah.
Technology runs their lives and the humans will not learn.
Yes.
And Duffy himself says it.
Yeah.
But he's pretty also nonchalant about it. He's just like, these humans are the beeping machines. I don't get it, but whatever makes them happy. That's what he's like.
Yeah. Weirdly ambivalent. And he's also critical. Like he's critical of it, but he won't do anything about it.
Yeah. Classic cat, am I right?
What a complex character.
I know.
To have to play in 15 minutes recording in your bathroom because the sound guy said the acoustics are the best.
Yeah. Eric Roberts really hit it out of the park here.
I will say the audio in the film is bad all around, and the voiceover is worse than the rest of the audio.
Oh, yeah. There's large parts of the movies
impressive.
where a character is clearly talking from a different room.
Yeah.
And there's no microphone anywhere near them. Mm-hmm. And the mic guy is, the sound guy is doing his best to pick up whatever he or she can.
I hear the movie sounds like a porno.
Oh, yeah. I heard it too. Yeah. I heard that.
Yeah, I heard like it just seems similar scale of technique.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah. So yeah, technology being a cautionary tale.
Yes. What do you have one?
Early in the film, early in both films, I mean, you see an animal on a screen. So early in Akira, there's a shot of a dog food commercial on a screen as two characters walk by, just in the background. And the opening credits to A Talking Cat is just clearly just like loose B-roll of just whatever the cat was doing. Mm-hmm. That they just put on a terrible, terrible Photoshop filter over, like a comic. When you like put a Photoshop filter to make something look like I'm making air quotes here, a comic book.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, they did that. So, and they did that with shots of Duffy, the cat.
Yeah.
Actually named Squeaky. That's the name of the actor.
Yeah. Both films have characters, older men with strange, arguably bad facial hair.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So like the dad in A Talking Cat has a really strange goatee that's almost like imperceptible. You can't really see it.
I'm sorry, you mispronounced the title of the film?
I'm sorry, A Talking Cat?
Oh, good. Oh, yes. That's the movie we're talking about.
Yeah, that one. Not the other film.
Not the other one.
Yeah. And then in Akira, there's several male characters with really strange facial hair.
Yes.
Like the scientist guy, the like laboratory person, and then also that like commander character. He has a strange mustache.
Here's a similarity. Both films deal with tribalism.
Yep.
There's like gang warfare going on in Akira. Same thing that's kind of going on in this movie where you have the two families, both live in the same neighborhood, but one is poor, don't know each other, they don't get along, and then they also like kind of battle at one point over like a cheese puffs based fiasco where cheese puffs get dropped.
Yeah.
And then the two gangs are at war again.
Yes. That's a great one.
Not as violent as in Akira though.
No. Another similarity is both films involve flirting and romance briefly.
Yes.
So the young boy and the girl who needs to be tutored in English of all courses.
Yeah.
Who refuses to read, and in Akira there's a bit of flirting going on in a few scenes when like they're being chased by the police and the government and stuff. So. But it doesn't dominate the story. The romance doesn't dominate the story. Although I guess in A Talking Cat it does, because there's two different romance stories.
Yeah. But I would say both of them just kind of exist just to have something for characters to do. Yes.
In both films, the romance felt obligational as a narrative.
The relationship between the boy, whose name I didn't care to remember, and Franny, the name that I questioned why a character would be named that, of the age she is. Mm-hmm. That seemed very just like you're a girl, therefore you are a love interest kind of situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Because she did not make a great first impression. She's like, hey, I'm dumb, and I'm going to commit to being super dumb. And then he's like, ooh, I'm so attracted to her.
Yeah.
And then also the scene where he goes swimming with the guy, the other neighbor boy.
Yeah, the brother.
There's a return to the homoeroticism of the director's previous work.
Yes.
Where you're just like, oh, this is not believable at all that he would even want to get together with this Franny character.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. Yeah. You and I both felt that.
Oh, we definitely felt that.
Yeah.
In both films, there's like a shadow organization always working in the background.
Mm-hmm.
In Akira, it's like, the government, and then those guys who are just doing tests constantly on Tetsuo and stuff. And then in the background of A Talking Cat is Global Tech. I don't know if you remember this.
I don't.
The company that the dad worked for was called Global Tech, and it had just like a very menacing sounding generic tech company name.
Yeah.
Global Tech. But then also the teen girl wants to become like a programmer of some kind.
Yeah.
And becomes obsessed with the neighbor who she finds out just retired from Global Tech.
That's a good one. Watch out for this next one. This one's going to blow your mind. I bet you didn't even see this one.
Okay.
Buckle up. Both movies feature characters who get submerged in a liquid.
Yes.
So in A Talking Cat, they go swimming in a few different scenes. And in Akira, there's a few scenes where they get submerged, either because they're being chased or they're in a gunfight, or it's because that one character walks across the water with one of those like little weird baby, super intelligent, telepathic guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those weird baby creatures.
Yeah, those adult babies.
They were the ones who had the psychic powers.
Yes. Yeah. So both films sort of feature that. And
if I may, yes, and that.
Oh, please do.
Both films
I didn't
feature...
give that very much, so I need you to beef it up.
If I may, yes, and that there was a character who, in both films, who experiences fear while submerged in water.
Great.
Because really at one point, Kaneda sees our dead rat in the water, and he starts freaking out. And then in A Talking Cat, inexplicably, the lead boy character has a swimming pool and is like afraid of swimming in it or doesn't know how to swim.
Yeah.
And that's his like character trait for the film. Here's an obvious one, but it's surprising we didn't mention this earlier. Both films are movies where a character says the title of the film in the movie.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
Yeah, both films, Akira, obviously, is said as he's the boy they've been containing in that giant building, or that giant globe thing. And then, A Talking Cat. At the very end of the film, after, spoiler alert, Duffy the cat is brought back to life, he says, I'm Duffy. I'm a talking cat. Although he doesn't say it with incredulity.
No, he doesn't.
So he doesn't. It's like 90%.
It's more like, I'm a talking cat.
I'm a talking cat.
Yeah, but with the shit ton of reverb. Not the good kind.
I'm a talking cat.
Yeah, literally.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounded like. Eric Roberts, are you doing this podcast?
Yeah, it's me, Eric Roberts.
Very good. Very good.
And if I can add yes and my own one.
I would love that.
Both of the Chicho characters are magical beings who have some sort of psychic or magical power, I guess.
Yes, that's really good. Both films feature young characters who are lost and misguided.
Yes.
So, in A Talking Cat, the younger brother who gets shit-talked all the time by the sister, I don't know why. She's not a redeemable character.
No, not at all.
She's mean, just straight up a negative mean person, but for some reason, we're told through the mechanics of basic storytelling that we should be rooting for her, even though she's a total B-word to her brother and her mom.
Oh, yeah.
But the brother's totally lost and doesn't have...
Duffy. She's kind of a jerk to Duffy.
She totally is. That's right.
And Duffy doesn't deserve it.
She's an
Duffy's
asshole.
A cat. Yeah.
In the movie.
She's in many ways the central villain of the piece.
I think she's the antagonist.
Yes.
Not the circumstances, but she's actually the antagonist.
And, well, in many ways...
She also doesn't change.
Well, you were getting to your point.
Oh, yeah. So there's a misguided youth.
Misguided youth.
And lost youth. So the brother is very misguided and doesn't know what he wants, and he doesn't have imagination and therefore lacks purpose. And in Akira, all of the kids, they're all students, but they're also in the biker gang, and they commit crimes and sort of live in the underbelly of the city, live a lifestyle that for some would appear to be very misguided and lost.
Yeah.
And they don't really have direction. So then they're left to their own devices, which is, in Akira's case, super cool motorbikes.
Yes, of
Product
course.
placement on them.
Oh, yeah. Love that product
Oh,
placement.
yeah. Canon. A 2D animated Canon logo. Love it.
That's great.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, both films really explore like youth and loss of direction.
Yeah. There's like a weird sense of existential ennui in A Talking Cat coming from all of the teens.
Yeah.
Because like the one boy whose dad was like the computer programmer, he lives in a super swank mansion with weird art pieces. He's kind of directionless. He doesn't really have a great relationship with his dad, it seems like.
Yeah.
As well as they tried to draw that. But I would say that both films are linked with, there's like a theme of being haunted by like the sins of your ancestors in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the mom has a failed business. The daughter wants to succeed beyond that. And the brother is just like trying to just figure out what he wants to do.
May I? Yes, and yours?
Yes.
So yeah, the dynamic of the family is that the mother's very domineering and tries to have total control, even though she has a floundering business. She's very stressed out. She has one kid. Her two kids are the opposite. One is very precocious, talented, and has direction and ambition. The other one is lost and aimless and sort of bends over backwards for her mom. And the same thing is in the biker gang in Akira. And you see that power shift between the leader with the red bike and then the boy who ends up getting all the powers. And Tetsuo, yes. And you see that their power dynamic shifts. Both films have this like mirroring of within the group, within the quote unquote tribe. You see that there's a moment when there's a usurping of position.
Yes.
Which is interesting because that's a really great status and power game to have within a story.
Well, I think
one nails it, and the other one, not so much.
I feel like the big part...
Talking about Akira, they did a very bad job.
They did a terrible job. I think the theme of Akira, or one of the themes of Akira, it has a lot to do with repeating history, because it takes place right after World War III.
Yeah.
Akira himself is kind of like a metaphor for the atomic bomb. So Tetsuo, he just symbolizes history repeating itself.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, oh, he's going to be the next bomb kind of thing, and like Japan is going to get itself into this kind of situation again.
Yeah.
If I can add to that even more.
Yes.
Both films are kind of like techno-dystopian.
Yeah.
I had a theory as I was watching, as I was coming to the end of A Talking Cat, about just how both films kind of like are representative of what would happen if the two powers, United States and Japan, if you just went forward 80 years into the future and got to see where they ended up after World War II. And then like America in A Talking Cat is just like this. Everybody's addicted to their cell phones to the point of just like a cat talking to them is not like a thing that they're really floored by. You're a cat and you're talking? And the cat's just like, yeah, I'm talking. I'm a talking cat. And then they just be like, this doesn't seem right, but I'll go along with it. Existential ennui kind of just hangs over everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of like what America is like now.
That's great.
I tried to place A Talking Cat in a larger context that it really, really doesn't earn.
The beauty of it is you can do that.
That's what this is all about.
This is just an exercise in intellectualizing literal garbage.
Yes. I would say awesome. I would say lionizing by association.
Yeah.
But it's still trash.
Truly trash. All right, my next one is I want to. This one's a little more abstract too. So, the film A Talking Cat has a scene where Humphrey Bogart is brought up. There's a Humphrey Bogart marathon, and he's obviously the king of noir. That's what he's known for. Is like Sam Spade and films like The Big Sleep and Maltese Falcon. I could go on.
Please just go on IMDb and list them.
But yeah, it's about film noir, and then both these, as we know, two characters sort of have similar interests and then have romantic feelings for one another. But Bogart, he's the sort of the king of noir, and Akira aesthetically is a very noirish film. It's very dark.
Yes.
They play with chiaroscuro lighting. They sort of deal with the underbelly of a city and basically all the noir tropes that are in existence and that people have sort of boiled down into a succinct list. Akira checks off the boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so both films, whether directly or tangentially and very abstractly, address and play with the noir genre.
That's good.
Without being a straight up noir. Because I wouldn't say Akira's a noir film. I'd say it's an anime film.
Yes.
With noirish tones and stylings. And I would say the same for A Talking Cat.
Yeah.
I would say it's a family-friendly comedy film with noirish undertones. Briefly. Very briefly.
Yeah, super briefly.
Little blip right in the middle. Yeah.
If I can just add to that, you brought up earlier about how Akira takes place mostly at night.
Yeah.
Which is true. There is a yin and a yang to both of these films.
Yeah.
In that A Talking Cat takes place mostly during the day.
Yes.
But there is one shot in the film, or one sequence that is done in probably the worst day for night photography / like color grading that I've ever seen.
Are you talking about the scene where he's watching Humphrey Bogart?
That one's not too bad. No, there's a scene. There's a scene in the living room of the mom's house.
Oh, it's blue.
Where it's like bluey purple. Clearly, just put a color grade on there because they're just like, well, this is how we do day for night. Because we're shooting this scene day for night. And like you can imagine the director is just like, okay, we're going to do this one day for night. And he just like kept saying that a bunch of times. Because it's like, well, this is what we're doing. We're
Everyone
doing day
just
for night.
Shook their head. They're like, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Do day for night, yeah.
Yeah. Let's do day for night.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna quickly slide in another similarity.
Great.
So there's sort of two key scenes in Talking Cat that take place at night. The one you just mentioned, and also one where the father character is watching Humphrey Bogart, and it's at night. It's also very poorly done, day for night, because it's clearly daytime out of the windows.
Yeah.
But the way they light it is with this red-blue gradient, which suggests that there's moonlight, and also his interior lights are red, which suggests a sun is setting or something. And that color scheme is almost identical to Akira's. So both movies with their nighttime scenes use a blue-red color scheme. So visually, I would argue that both use the exact same techniques to illustrate night.
Oh, good.
And
that's great.
One nails it. I hear Akira's like it looks like a porno.
It does, but I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. I have no idea. I've never seen a porno.
Akira, it looks like a hentai. But I don't know what hentai is.
Know.
I don't know what hentai is.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
you just heard that word and you're like, I should just say this.
Do you know what hentai is? It's anime porn.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean...
That's the truth. I've literally never seen that.
You're not missing anything. I mean, I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've heard I'm not missing anything. What? Yeah, both films utilize 2D animation to make characters speak dialogue.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so in Akira, all the characters are obviously cell-by-cell animated. And Duffy, the cat, in A Talking Cat, his mouth is 2D animated so that he can have one arbitrary conversation with every single character.
Yes.
And only one conversation.
Well, piggybacking on that.
Oh, yeah. Hit me with it.
Both films feature rules kind of for how the magical power works.
Yes.
And it's usually in a moment of high stress in the environment where the magical protagonist character is. So whenever Duffy's in a scenario and it's high stress for like a bland white family member, then he's just like, I got this nugget of information that I'm just gonna tell you this. Here you go. Just like go for it, man.
Yeah.
And then the boy is just like, you know what? I will ask that girl out because this random talking cat told me to do it.
Can I just say?
But there's only you can only do it once. You only have, that's the rule.
Yeah, it is a rule.
And in Akira, the same thing is just whenever it's like a high stress situation, then the person just explodes.
Yeah.
And destroys the city.
Both films feature characters minding their own business, and then something crazy happens. So in Akira, sort of goes for everybody, but even like the biker gangs are kind of minding their own business, and then all of a sudden they get roped into this crazy sort of government conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
And also just the public of Neo Tokyo are minding their own business, and then all of a sudden their city literally gets destroyed.
Yes.
By many different destructive forces. And in A Talking Cat, every single character is minding their own business, and then they're talked to by a talking cat. And it's astonishing. They didn't ask for it.
They definitely
it happened.
Yeah, and then
the
action
cat went in. The cat started the film off and was like, I'm going to help people out. I know they need this help.
Yeah.
What a presumptuous thing. The cat had no right to do that. And I would say the magic baby adults had no right to do what they did in Akira, but they did it anyways because they were so telepathic and powerful. Super beings.
Well, Akira as a concept is basically the reason for everything happening in the movie. Everybody was not wanting to recreate Akira, or they were wanting to recreate Akira, or
the magic
they just
is
happened
the
to fall
inciting
into
incident.
Yeah.
That sets the rest of the movie in tow. So I'd say, like, narratively, these two films use some very similar bones to the structure.
And they're titled appropriately.
Yeah, absolutely. And both films, not only is it like the namesake of the film is also set in the movies, and it's also the sort of describes what is the thing, but both. I lost my train of thought. I have no idea. I had something really cool there. What? No, I got nothing.
You were saying both characters.
Oh yeah, both titles describe the magic of character. Yeah. Well, I can't believe I lost that.
That's totally fine. Oh, early in both films, a figure of warning is present.
Yeah.
So the young boy who is trying to escape with like the hobo, I guess, the guy in the trench coat who gets shot to death.
He gets shot so many times, and then just bleeds out in the most gruesome way.
Yeah,
is Akira a children's movie?
Oh, 100% no.
Okay, good.
It was like,
is it R-rated?
I think so.
Yeah, it's intense.
If I can go on a tangent, I saw this movie. I was born in the 80s. I saw it when I was like maybe even 7 or 8.
Yeah,
I was around that age. And my dad rented it because it was a cartoon. He didn't know what anime was. He didn't know what he was getting us into.
Yeah.
And it was just like one of those things where he rented us like 4 movies, 4 weekly rentals from the Video Cinema, which is what the video store was called in Lethbridge, Alberta.
Great.
And
you grew up in Lethbridge?
I did.
I had no idea.
So, yes, my dad rented us like a bunch of movies. One of them was Akira. He thought it was just a cartoon. He didn't know it was like a super violent cartoon.
Yeah.
Like a super body horror, really screwed up kind of. So anyway, we watched that movie like so many times that week, and I was traumatized by so much of the violence in it. But we invited our friends over to watch it.
Great.
But it was like, I would also say that was a great experience for me to see that movie when I was so young. Which most parents would not agree with, but I was just like, no, that kind of like really set me down a path, getting to see something that's like really good when you're young instead of just watching trash cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
We watched All Dogs Go to Heaven that day instead of Akira. I might be a different person.
Your palate gets defined at an earlier age, which just gives you more and more time to really explore film.
Yeah.
And cinema.
And
art.
But to link it back to A Talking Cat, that's a kid's movie. And Akira's not a kid's movie, but
when you watched it,
for me, it was like very formative in my childhood.
And the way it was rented, the thought was that it was a kid's movie.
Yeah, and I think the same thing would happen with A Talking Cat, where some parent would rent it and they wouldn't know that they're renting a movie that was filmed by a porn director.
In a house used for porn films.
Yeah, and featuring some actors who have been in porn films.
Yeah.
So it was just like they're renting something that's a lot darker. And in both films, like there's that darkness under the surface, you know, the existential ennui, as we discussed.
Yeah.
Kind of technology just ruining lives.
Yeah.
So, yeah, both films kind of are exactly the same in that way.
Great. It's so similar. These films are so similar.
Yeah, I want to go back to my point earlier about a yin and a yang that the films represent.
Hit me with it.
I did some research because I was like, what does Akira mean? Akira means a lot of different things in different cultures, but Akira in Japan essentially means like light. And I looked up Duffy, the name of the cat. And Duffy is Irish or Scottish. I can't remember.
Okay.
Who says, what's Duffy? Is that Scottish?
Duffy.
Duffy is Irish.
Duffy. 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 Duffy.
Seems Irish.
I think it's Irish. Yeah.
I mean, we can easily look this up. Maybe I'll just take a little pause here.
I'll do it. Duffy definition.
Yeah, just Duffy definition. Duffy def.
Duffy is a surname of Irish origin. It comes from the original Irish name. Oh, I can't read that.
So we'll pretend.
If you go all the way back, it means black.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So Duffy.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Duffy is Irish. Going all the way back, it basically means like black or son of black, I guess. Akira means light. Duffy means black. They're like similar magical figures. They kind of like represent the yin and the yang of. This kind of ties back to my point earlier about both films as 21st century extensions of World War II and like the techno-dystopia.
Yeah.
So like you get to see boring, bland, like America in California. We also don't know what's happening outside of the state of California in this film. It could have just been completely wiped out.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to assume not, because the characters are prioritizing some sort of like computer program where they scan clothes with a reading lamp.
May I add about the etymology of the word Duffy? Is it etymology?
One of them means bugs.
Anyways, on Urban Dictionary, Duffy means if something's going crazy or gangster.
No, wow.
Yeah, or ratchet. Basically, if something is going like insane, and that's a very appropriate urban slang term. It truly describes what's going on. Like, it's insane. It's a quote unquote ratchet of a talking cat to be a talking cat, and in Akira, literal insanity ensues.
Oh yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah.
The whole city's destroyed by a giant behemoth of like flesh. Anywho, pretty crazy. So another one is both films feature fast motor vehicles injuring people and injuring characters.
That was
and putting characters in great jeopardy. So the cat Duffy is hit by a car, and in Akira, there's like the motorbike gangs and fights ensue, and great carnage happens, and also the different sort of political and law enforcement organizations work with vehicles, and bad things happen, and there's bodily harm. So both films really deal with like high octane motor stuff, and also people get hurt.
One of the protagonists of both films gets hit by a motor vehicle, and then the next time you see them, they are bandaged in a head of varying degrees of sloppiness.
Yeah,
but there's like a white bandage just comically loosely, thrown around their head,
perched on their head. Yeah. Lightning round. Okay. Hit me with it, Mike.
Both films have a lot of technical mumbo jumbo, where people are just talking just like about algorithms and like nonsense.
Yeah.
Both films feature an enlightened kind of like Christ figure. Not sorry. Both films feature an.
All right, start over.
Both films feature an enlightened false messiah, I would say.
Yeah.
Literally in Akira, they wrote on the road, Lord Akira the Enlightened. It says that in kanji.
Yeah.
And then in A Talking Cat, the talking cat is. And then he comes back from the dead, not unlike Jesus. So.
Very good.
Both films feature red laser guns. Both films feature red lasers. So in Akira, there's a literal laser gun that Kaneda tries to shoot Tetsuo with. And then in A Talking Cat, there's like a laser pointer that you sometimes see on screen, which is to get the cat to do something.
Yeah. That's a great similarity. I'm so glad you caught that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And in Akira, there's a line where they say that the future doesn't follow along a certain path. There has to be a future we can choose. It's up to us to find us. And that is, I believe, the message that A Talking Cat is trying to get across.
Yeah.
You have to make your own future. You have to do stuff. Just get out there and do it, son. You know?
Mm-hmm.
The looming specter of toys is always in the background, if I can say. is the toy company that they're always talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And then in Akira, toys are just like these weird
They manifest into
monsters kind of thing that are always kind of haunting Tetsuo and stuff. So,
yeah.
But the toy company is haunting the mom in a talking cat. I mean, I've got a couple more, but I think we can call it there. Yes, but both films, I would say, are kind of about grasping at the powers of the gods.
Yeah.
As they say in Akira, they say like it's a cautionary tale. We shouldn't be grasping for this power. So yeah, so I feel like we found a lot of similarities between these two movies.
Yet, one is so darn good.
Yes,
and one is a giant pile of shit.
I would say yes.
I think the only thing that would have made Akira better is if it was Akira ! Exclamation mark.
Akira?
Yeah, that would have been better.
You can talk?
I'm a talking cat. And there's a collar my original owner gave me, buried under a grove of magical trees due north of here. That collar is what lets me help people.
That's crazy?
What's so crazy about it?
You're a cat.
That's the problem with you humans. You're also concerned with knowing the destination. You forget to enjoy the trip. You're having a thoughtful conversation with me. I'm a talking cat, remember?
That just makes me crazy.
You need to stop selling yourself short. If you keep living and learning and reaching out, the life you think you're missing is gonna land right in your lap.
What would a talking cat look like as an anime?
There is a movie called The Cat Returned, it's a talking cat.
And it's an anime?
It's made by the Spirited Away company.
Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki made it?
I don't know if he directed it, but yeah, I think he did.
That's
The
amazing.
Cat Returns. Pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, there's
well, then I guess that answered my question.
There's a couple of animes out there that are about talking cats.
Cool.
I mean, Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
Hello Kitty is a talking cat.
Literally a talking cat.
Was there anything that you found particularly surprising or interesting about either of these movies?
I truly knew nothing about Akira, and I was blown away by it. It was so dark, so gritty, so violent. The characters were very, very good. The writing was great. Reading about it, I found it fascinating that they took such liberties, considering the source material is so highly regarded.
Yes.
And the person who wrote and directed the film was the same person who wrote the manga, so I found that interesting.
Yes.
I don't know. Akira was a very surprising film. I really didn't know what I was signing up for. And then it just turned out to be like a really dark, sad movie of dealing with the supernatural and also some very interesting existential, cyclical questions about human nature and the destruction of humanity.
Why did it take so long for World War III to happen? Did World War I and II happen so soon after each other, and then World War III happened like
everyone is busy.
century?
Everyone is busy with their shiny, tiny beeping machines.
It's true, man. It's true.
Yeah.
Would you say it's a stretch to suppose that in a talking cat's title, a talking cat with the exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, the two exclamation points represent each of the world wars, and then the question mark is asking us, are we going to have another one of these? Is World War III looming? Because this is in 2013. This is 6 years before 2019 when World War III happens in Akira.
I don't think that's a stretch.
No?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, a talking cat is a parable for the nuclear arms race.
Yeah. Technology just gone awry.
Yeah.
We're using it to, to categorize clothing and have it decide outfits for us.
Mm-hmm.
We can't just make these creative choices ourselves. We're just handing over our lives to technology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a loss of identity. It's a loss of self. It's a loss of responsibility in your own life as a person.
And all of the shots of nature in the movie, which are accompanied by Eric Roberts' brilliant voiceover, where he's talking about getting back to nature, and meditating. Also, one more similarity, which was a huge one that I missed.
Oh, what was it?
I found it very interesting.
Yeah,
that in a talking cat, there's like a Hamlet reference.
Oh yeah,
I found that to be very bizarre, and I thought about it a little bit.
Yeah.
The Hamlet kind of links both these movies together. There's a similarity in that Hamlet shares themes between both films.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely.
In A Talking Cat, it's kind of like seeing and disbelieving a ghost figure, Hamlet's father, or in this movie, the talking cat.
Yes.
And then in Akira and Hamlet, that's like the city kind of gone awry and the government ruining everything. And it's only through cleansing the government do we find peace.
Whoa, man.
Putting Hamlet in the middle of these two movies, you can suggest that both films are saying that.
Yeah.
So a talking cat is very subtly, I would say, telling you destroy the government. It's the only way we'll have peace and come back to nature.
Yeah.
So in terms of the films we watched this week, which movie do you recommend?
I would recommend both.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
I would only recommend Akira.
Okay, I changed my answer. I only recommend A Talking Cat.
What? What a surprise.
I know, plot twist. It's a great film.
Okay.
It's the best anime film I've ever seen.
You know what we should do for this episode?
What?
We should be kind of meta with it and just add padding. We'll just have 10 seconds of La Cucaracha.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
And then just to pad it out. You know, because they kept playing La Cucaracha for some reason.
I don't know why.
Because they were close to Mexico.
I guess that's a reason.
Okay, well, this was from Justin to Kane featuring Mike and Bob. I'm Mike.
And I'm Bob.
And thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know what it is about that cat. It's like he spoke to all of us. Why are you looking at each other like that?
Duffy, he spoke to all of us.
Maybe there's some magic left in his collar.
Got it.
I'm Duffy. I'm a talking cat.